How's it going, everybody? Over the years, I've uploaded a lot of videos about the best Thralls at different points in time in the Conan Exiles development process. And I say development process because it feels like there are so many things that change in this game on a regular basis, including Thrall stats, that it is still being developed. Now, with that said, in the past I've always focused on bringing you what I thought were the absolute best Thralls. However, instead of giving you a ranking of what the best Thrall is, I'm going to give you a ranking based on specific bits of data for each one of these Thralls. So for this video, you are going to see the Thralls that you can knock out with the highest melee damage modifier. Now, the melee damage modifier is a hidden statistic for Thralls that only affects the damage that they do with strength-based weapons. If you're looking for a Thrall to use an agility weapon, then you want to look for a Thrall with a high ranged damage modifier, and I'll be putting that video together in the near future, so I'd recommend subscribing to the channel and joining the 50,000 other people who have already made that decision. Now, just because these are the Thralls with the highest melee damage modifier doesn't mean that these are necessarily the best Thralls in game, nor are they the best Thralls for you to use. This is just what has the highest melee damage modifier in the game right now, and honestly, most of them in this list are pretty glass cannon. And this list isn't to say that the Cimmerian Berserker or the Dalencia Snow Hunter is no good in game, they just didn't make this list. I know, right? Spoiler alert, Dalencia Snow Hunter and the Cimmerian Berserker did not make it into the top 5 highest melee damage modifier video. Since I'm doing this video based on the highest melee damage modifiers, there may be multiple Thralls in a bracket that all share these same stats, and I'll list each and every one of those as well as locations as to where you can find them. These Thralls are absolutely pumped, and you can get pumped too by visiting the sponsor of this video, Gfuel.com, the official energy drink of esports. Gfuel is formulated with gamers and gaming in mind to help boost energy, focus, endurance, and reaction time. Formulated with no sugar and no gluten. Just natural, clean, vitamin and antioxidant fortified energy. Available in over 40 flavors. Head over to gfuel.com today and order your favorite flavor. Don't forget to use promo code WAC4863 at checkout to receive a 20% discount on your purchase. Now that I feel like you're properly caffeinated and ready for this information, in our number 5 spot is Ancina Hidden Daggers. She is an entertainer and she starts out with 429 total hit points. The locations where she can be found are Cannibal's Rest, Riverwatch Camp, Spinebreaker's Flank, the Summoning Place, the Corner of Bones, and Skulker's End. Her attributes starting out are 0 in strength, 0 in agility, 0 in vitality, and 15 in grit. She has a melee damage modifier and a ranged damage modifier that are exactly the same at 2.4. She gains 59 hit points per point leveled in vitality. Since she's an entertainer, if you take her out fighting with you, she will give you a bonus to your health regeneration of 5% that can stack up to 10 times for a total of 50% increased health regeneration. This status effect only applies to player characters, it will not affect your Thralls. While she's following you, and even though she's not visibly dancing, you are still going to receive that entertained buff, giving you the ability to heal faster while you're in combat. Just remember that she does start out with very low hit points, so you want to baby her through the initial stages of leveling up. And I definitely recommend putting her in heavy armor with the highest armor value you possibly can. You can always use the Thaumaturgy bench in order to change the style of her armor if you don't like the way some of the heavy armors look. In our number 4 spot, we have a group of Thralls that all share the same stats. Aota Maneater, Filetooth, Yal Yog's Chosen, and Math the Flesh Terror are all fighters starting with 616 hit points. The location where they can be found is in the Purge. For attributes, they have 0 in strength, 0 in agility, 0 in vitality, and 15 in grit. They have a melee damage modifier of 2.6832 and a ranged damage modifier of 3.09. They gain 85 hit points per point gained in vitality. I personally haven't come across any of these thralls since the Chapter 2 update to the Age of War for Conan Exiles. If I had to make an educated guess, I would say that they should come in the cages as rewards at the end of a purge, and they may even come in lower level purges as rewards. I personally wouldn't worry about it too much because there are still higher damage modifier thralls that are available just on the map, and so you don't have to worry about doing a purge to get a thrall with a really high damage modifier. Like the one that's in our number 3 spot, Sore Shoot Eye Gouger is an archer who starts out with 429 total hit points. The locations where he can be found are Narrow Neck Span, Carver's Crest, Morrowman's Height, Howling Plateau, Thugra's Stand, the Summoning Place, Spinebreaker's Flank, Death's Shadow Camp, and Flesh Terror Falls. His attributes are 0 in Strength, 0 Agility, 0 in Vitality, and 15 in Grit. Like Ancina Hidden Daggers, he stands alone by himself, with melee and ranged modifiers exactly the same at 2.88, and he gains 59 hit points per level in Vitality. Now you remember earlier on when I told you that Dalencia Snowhunter and the Cimmerian Berserker didn't actually make it to the top 5 list. Well, it's interesting to find that there's an entertainer that has a higher damage modifier than both Dalencia Snowhunter and the Cimmerian Berserker, but now you also know that there's an archer that has a higher melee damage modifier than both of them as well. And there's a commonality in all of the thralls that I'm showing you today, and I'll reveal that at the end of the video. It's pretty fitting that our number 2 spot is going to go to a set of twins. That's right, 2 males, 2 females, and they look exactly alike. I mean, look at these faces. These are not the same named thrall. Each one of them has a different name, but they look exactly alike. So for the number 2 spot, we have a set of twins. Now, not appearing in the order of birth, we have Grenell the Piercing Storm, Guahasar Straight Arrow, Nagal the Cannibal, and Tak for Detdu. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like even trying to pronounce some of these names is worth a like, so if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and whack that like button. These twins all chose the same profession as archers, and they all start off with 616 hit points. They can be found in the Purge. The attributes that they have are 0 in Strength, 0 in Agility, 0 in Vitality, and 15 in Grit. They have a melee damage modifier of 3.096 and a ranged damage modifier of 2.4768. And they gain 85 hit points per point leveled in Vitality. So let's recap what we have so far. In the number 5 spot we have an Entertainer, and then in the number 4 spot we have Purge Thralls. Again in the number 3 spot we have an Archer, and then in the number 2 spot we have a bunch of Purge Thralls. The Entertainer and the Archer are both found on the map, and then we have 2 spots that are taken up by Thralls that you can only get by engaging in the Purge. So what will our number 1 spot be? Will it be Purge Thralls, or will it be something you can find on the map? Now I know a lot of you have already been taking notes and figuring out what's similar with these thralls, and I want you to put that in the comment section below before I reveal it after the number 1 thrall. The number 1 spot for the thralls with the highest damage modifier actually goes to 3 different thralls: the Cannibal Brute, the Ritualist, and Thugra. They are all fighters with starting hit points of 429. The locations where you can find the Brute are the Summoning Place and Skulker's End. The Ritualist is found at Riverwatch Camp, and Thugra is found at Thugra's Stand. Their attributes are 0 in Strength, 0 in Agility, 0 in Vitality, and 15 in Grit. Their melee damage modifier is 3.12, and their ranged damage modifier is 2.88. They gain 59 hit points per point leveled in Vitality. So let's see if you guys figured out what is similar about all of these thralls. First of all, they are all from the same faction. Every single one of them is part of the Defari faction. Additionally, they all share the exact same attributes across every single one of them: 0 in Strength, 0 in Agility, 0 in Vitality, and 15 in Grit. The one odd thing that I noticed about Ancina Hidden Daggers is she actually had a max strength damage bonus of 6% without having anything leveled into attributes. I don't know if this is just a visual bug or if she's actually getting an additional 6% bonus damage out of nowhere. Now, for the longest time, I thought this was a mistake, but I'm starting to rethink that. I'm not sure if Funcom is trying to add thralls that are basically glass cannons into the game. Now, the increase to the damage modifiers for these thralls was never mentioned in the patch notes, so it still could be a mistake, but I want to know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. Do you think some of the weakest thralls should have the highest damage modifiers? I'd like to thank all my YouTube members for your continued support. Y'all are absolute legends. If you'd like to become a legend, there's a button that says join on this page. Click that for details. There's 2 videos on the screen. Click one of those to watch next, and I'll meet you over there.